Greetings, friends! Right behind me here is a pond with ducks on it, as you can see right there. And we are here, not on our farm, but another farm, another homestead, and another homestead of homesteaders who are YouTubers as well. And we are here at Thousands of Roots. So let's go check out and look around their homestead. And here is Kip, and he's gonna show us around. He's gonna give you a tour of his place.
Welcome, y'all. Kip, Thousands of Roots, and so glad to have the Dixon family here. It's our pleasure and privilege to have them here. Now I'll give you a quick view of our place.
Come on, check it out.
This swale here starts down there.
Okay.
Comes all the way this way. It's about 175 feet long. What a swale is a ditch that's dug and it's on contour, so it's level all the way around. You dig it and then you pile up downhill. The downhill side that you pile up, that's what you plant out. Swales are food growing systems. You plant it out with fruit trees. And this swale then has a spillway and it spills into that pond down there. So we put this in about 3 years ago and it's been really successful, except that we let our cow, our milking cow, we let her graze this. And boy, did she graze it. She pretty near killed just about everything on this swale. Unfortunately, we didn't have the proper fencing. So again, I'll say that we did a whole video on our biggest mistake on the homestead, and it was fencing. Not having the proper fencing on a homestead, guys. I'm going to give you some advice right now. You know, like Doug says, nugget. Proper fencing on a homestead. It's the first thing that you have to have. If you're going to have animals, you have to have proper fencing. So she's pretty much destroyed 30 fruit trees because we didn't have proper fencing.
Wow.
That's a bummer.
That is, man. So Kip, tell us a little bit about the cow systems that you have grazing out here, and I also see you have some chickens grazing out there as well.
Yep. We have 5 cows. 2 of them are Dexters, the other 3 are Jerseys. So we're developing a small dairy herd here. That's what the whole purpose. Our big paddock here, it's about 4 acres. They graze on that. We have another paddock in the back. We have the solar electric fencing, and then the paddock we're standing in now, that's not fenced off yet. So we've got to get this fenced off, so then we can rotate them through these 3 paddocks that we'll have ready for them. So then we can give our paddocks a rest. And that's our goal. This large 4-acre paddock, we could paddock that off like 7 times. It could be about 7 paddocks. If or when we get the proper fencing and set that up, then we can move them through those paddocks. These chickens are on purpose. They're in a coop right here, which you can just barely see that coop hidden there. They're on purpose to be with the cows so that when the cows manure, these chickens will spread that manure. Because what happens with the cow pies when it sits, it burns the ground, it burns the grass that it's on top of and destroys it. So the chickens will come and scratch that and spread it. They'll get after all the flies, so reduce your flies, and spread the manure that the cows did so it doesn't burn your grass. So that's why the chickens are in here on purpose with the cows.
So it's great, as you can see, these multiple systems that are working together in a synergistic way. It's just neat to see systems that are stacked and working together just in harmony with one another.
Yes, amen. And something that was a happy accident, we didn't do this on purpose, is that the cows being up here and all their manure, when it rains, it washes that into the swale. So now this swale is a self-watering, self-fertilizing system. So that was a really cool benefit. Honestly, we weren't smart enough to do that on purpose. But after the first rain, I came and looked at the water and how it looked like compost tea. All the water was just compost tea. We couldn't believe it.
That's fantastic when that happens.
Yeah. Yeah, because unhappy accidents happen enough, right? So getting the happy one is really a treasure.
That sure is. That is right. All righty. He also has some neat things that we're going to check out here in the garden area up here. Let's check it out.
Just want to show you real quick what the chickens do to a cow pie.
So they basically just scratch and spread that out and help work it into the soil?
Yep, so the grass doesn't get all burnt and fried, and doing their job.
There you go. So these animals are not just here to eat and consume, but they're also co-workers here working Kip out and helping to manage the land. So it's just neat to see that happen. Are you up there? Yeah? Are you gonna drive the tractor? You are? Where are you going? You don't know? There are kids everywhere. There's kids all over the place. What are you doing? Whose dog is that? Who are you with, Josiah? Got a friend there?
We just got here, so pardon us while we do a little bit of. Yep.
Looks like we have some compost system going here too.
We do, yeah, and the chickens love it too. At least this one chicken loves it.
Oh, right in here we have a broody chicken.
Yep.
Are there eggs under there?
We've been collecting them every day. We don't
Okay.
want to go broody here.
Okay.
It's not full yet. But yeah, it's not a 4-stage compost system, but it's just, you know, about 20 feet long compost system. This is for specifically, this is only held on by 4 screws. So this whole thing can be popped off. We can fill it more easily. On the other side, it's the same thing. It's only being held on by 4 screws. So once this is full and composted, we can pop that off and bring it right into our garden.
Bam, there
So
we
that's why
go.
we did it this way.
There we go. Efficient and makes the workload easier because you're right there near the garden to be able to take the compost and basically take it right into the garden once it breaks down.
Yeah, plus all the garden scraps and the season gardening gets thrown right into here.
There we go.
So it's cycles. You know, want to think about those kind of cycles when you're thinking about homesteading, gardening, farming.
And the workload can be hard enough as it is working on a homestead. So you want to try to make things as easy for you as possible.
Yeah, efficient.
Yeah.
Efficiency. Come on in.
Here we go.
So our intention for this was a milking structure. And we actually did a whole video on building it. Right now the gates are off because all we used for holding those gates on were fence nails. So the U-shaped fence nails, that's what we hold those gates on with. That didn't work very well. Didn't hold up. But super simple system. Pallets screwed together. Use 2x4s on this side. So this pallet can screw to this 2x4. These pallets can come together, screw together. And we made it 2 pallets long, which was the same width, almost the exact same width of 2 cattle panels. So then it's a cattle panel that goes up and over. And then you need some kind of covering. We used vinyl. You can use tarp. Very, very thick plastic, I guess, woodwork. But this is billboard vinyl material. And it's actually been up for over a year.
Okay.
So not too bad. This is definitely a temporary structure. It's not something you're going to want to rely on for very long term. But there's a lot you could put under here. There's a lot of things you can use this for.
When you're getting started, it's best to kind of do things in a more of a temporary state so that way you can build upon them and learn at the same time. This is an easy way to get started without waiting. Some people get analysis paralysis where they're trying to learn and try to do everything like top notch and then they end up not doing anything at all. So this is an easy way to get started with your cows in a simplified way.
Yeah. And then once you do this, maybe you're going to figure out after using this for a few months that, you know what, this is not the right spot for milking the cows. So when that happens, you're going to be very grateful you put up something temporary instead of something permanent.
Exactly right.
These here are supplements for the cows. So salt, and different kind of supplements, so they can have free choice. They can come in and get salt when they need it. I think there's kelp in there and whatever else. And so it's covered. So it keeps those things out of the rain. One of our goals is to have a chicken yard by every garden plot. Why would that be? There's actually a couple reasons. One is because any chicken yard you have, there's not going to be any weeds in there. So it's going to be a weed barrier. Weeds aren't going to grow from there into your garden. Second, maybe more importantly, end of year garden scraps, end of year cleaning up your garden, all goes to the chickens and they get to eat well. As well as they will keep the pests down. There aren't going to be crickets, grasshoppers, and stuff like that coming making it through the chicken yard into your garden. So they're a barrier for many reasons. Then once the soil is built up in there and composted and they've done all their, you know, chicken squat in there, then we come in there with a shovel and we throw it into the garden. So, and you always want your chickens or your chicken yard uphill from your garden, so that when it rains, the water's going to bring that nutrient into your garden. So that's why we've done that.
There we go. And here you have chicken coop, and that looks like one that you could probably move if you need to move it fairly easy.
Yes.
Okay.
Except recently we added the feet to it.
Okay.
Which is going to make it a bit heavy and cumbersome, but it's still definitely movable.
Okay.
We want them up off the ground, so again, chickens can get under there if they want to. Plus now their chicken squat can fall down through to the earth, and there's no chicken squat going to be gathering, building up in the coop.
Gotcha. And being able to have them go underneath, that helps them to avoid any predator attacks from above, aerial predators.
Yep, and shade.
Okay. Yep, shade too.
They like both those things a lot. Somewhere to escape and also shade.
There we go. And I see some ducks coming by again.
Yep.
Tell us a little bit about your ducks. Because since I'm a duck man.
Yeah. Well, Caleb, my oldest son, is the duck man here. Mainly we got the ducks for a variety for eggs. So we have layer ducks. We don't have meat ducks, we have layer ducks. So we focused on layer breeds, and the main breed we got was the anacondas. And they do pretty well. Every other day, something like that.
Okay.
They'll lay maybe every third day.
Okay.
You know, depending on the season.
Yeah,
right.
It sure does.
Animals are very persnickety about seasons. If it's too cold,
yes,
they shut up shop. If it's too hot, they shut up shop.
Yeah, that's right. That is right. And since we've been here, I'm totally digging your homestead here. You have a number of great things that are going on that are just fantastic. So tell us a little bit about what you got going on here with your homestead. You got solar panels and just neat things.
So you want to know about our craziness? Okay. So all of our power comes from these 4 solar panels here. Powers our whole house. All of our water is rainwater catchment. Rainwater catchment, what's that? Rainwater catchment is when rain comes down off the roof, we catch it in this gutter. It goes from the gutter into the pipes, from the pipes into tanks. And on the one that is for our house, we have a pre-wash on that. So we have the valve open, so it rains for a while, washes all the debris off the roof, all the debris off the gutters, goes down and just runs right out. Then we come and we turn that valve off, then it actually starts filling up, and then it fills up, and then it spills into the tank. So that's what a pre-wash does. So that's been all of our water has come from rainwater catchment, plus our drinking water has been from a spring, a freshwater spring that we did test to make sure it was clean. And but we still use a Berkey anyways, Berkey water filter. So that's been all of our water. But we were really blessed just recently and we put in a well. But we don't have a pump yet for it, so we can't really show you anything about that.
That's neat.
This is a 1,500 gallon tank. It catches off of our patio roof. This is what we water all of our stock with. Big deal. This being in a greenhouse, then it doesn't freeze in the winter, which is huge. So why build a greenhouse just to make so the tank doesn't freeze? Why not also add a raised bed in here and grow food and build a starting seed starter station as well.
And where does this water here, where does it come from, and what is it for?
We fill those by overflow of this.
Okay.
Once this gets totally full, then we turn it on and then put a hose in and we fill it.
Okay.
We can fill the bottom one that way, not the top one. The top one we have to use a sump pump and
okay.
a generator to fill that.
Gotcha.
This is a 1,500 gallon tank. The main roof. This is what feeds the plumbing in our whole house. And that's where all the pipes come together right there. The one down below that goes down, that's where the clean out is. So that's how we can have the water relatively clean in this tank.
And that gives you all the water you guys need inside?
Yeah, we've never actually run out here.
So with this system and the other system, that water system that you were talking about, and the well that you just dug, you're gonna have plenty of water here on your farm.
We're gonna have water security then.
So that is fantastic.
Yep. And well that we dug is gonna have a solar powered pump on it. Then we're gonna add on a simple pump, hand pump.
Kip just showed us around and showed us some of the systems that he has for the animals. And now we're here with his wife Carrie, and she's going to show us around the garden because she's the main one who tends and gets the garden going, right?
Well, I get a lot of help for sure. Kip's the one that helps set up the beds and do all the heavy work, and then the children help a lot too. So
work together as a family.
Yep. We kind of do a combination of a no-dig and back-to-Eden style gardening, and because our soil is so bad here, we do raised beds. So this year we were able to get a lot of free compost and have some fun raised beds, and then our walkways are where we put our wood chips. And we're also experimenting with combining different plants together to see if that helps. And so this bed over here, we've got all kinds of things going on. So on this bed we've got some peppers, we've got some garlic chives, which actually just self-seeded and came back. Predominantly we had tomatoes, and the season's a bit gone for tomatoes, but there are still a couple growing. And then we've got herbs like basil, marigolds. We even threw in some cowpeas this year just to add some nitrogen to the soil. So I really like trying to mix it all up and get a lot of plants together to try and see if that helps them to be a little healthier and helps keep some of the bugs away. And yeah, so that's what we're experimenting with here. In
these low tunnels here, you look like you got some fall crops going.
Yeah, this is our first year getting to have a really small fall garden, and so that's fun. We have a couple of tunnels that we'll eventually put row cover over to help keep the beds a little warmer. So mostly we have some brassicas and then lettuces. So hopefully they do well. Alright, so this has been a fun new experiment this year. We did 2 cattle panels side by side to make a nice archway here. And we have 2 different types of pole beans. A purple pole bean called Bohaldi on one side, and then the other side is a rattlesnake bean. And both of them, you can allow them to mature and use them as dry beans as well. So I like that, the multi-purpose of them. And we also had lettuce underneath early summertime, and that helped to prolong the lettuce because they got a little bit of shade there. So it worked out really well.
Now on the different beans here, have you noticed one to be more prolific than the other? It looks like the purple one is really growing really well.
Actually, it kind of depends on the temperature. So the rattlesnake did well in the hot weather, and the purple one does better in the cooler weather.
Okay.
So it kind of, yeah, like different temperatures.
That's great. And it looks like behind you there's some hibiscus there. Is that what that is?
Yeah, roselle.
Okay.
It's an annual for here, an annual hibiscus that we're going to dry for tea.
Okay. Now, with it being annual, is there much work you have to do to get it to come back the next year?
Just save seed, and
okay.
It does really well from seed. Yeah, it doesn't really need any kind of special soil, doesn't need a lot of water. It does really well.
Okay, so wow, it's grown that much just in this year.
Yes.
That's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
And you have some fruit trees I see here as well.
Yeah, apple trees. We have four different apple trees in the middle of the garden. And we've got a few pear trees and then cherry tree in the back.
And are you actually getting fruit off of them yet?
This was our first year
to
get some apples, yeah.
Wow, that's exciting.
Yeah. We do have a lot of issues with disease here, and
Okay.
we unfortunately did not pick the best varieties for our area. So hopefully we can plant some more that are better for our area in the future.
That's great. You also have the chickens right behind here for throwing. What do you probably get some of your crop residue once you're done cropping things out and just throw it over to the chickens?
Yeah, anything extra in the garden, even weeds, we throw it all to the chickens and gives them extra nutrition, and it's very convenient.
And I noticed you have one of our favorite plants growing in multiple areas, and that is the comfrey here.
Yes.
And you guys like comfrey, I'm assuming?
We love comfrey, yes.
Yeah. And they probably work well with the chickens and.
Yeah, all the animals on the farm like it. It's great for composting and yeah, even for health.
There we go.
Yeah, we like to put comfrey, at least one plant by each fruit tree, and that way we can chop it every once in a while and just put it around the fruit trees and add nutrition and mulch around the fruit trees.
That is fantastic. Thank you.
So walking in the door, right to your right, is our wood cook stove. It's a Surefire. It's got a huge firebox, so in other words, big logs can fit in here, like 16 inches long.
Wow.
Logs can fit in here, which is a huge bonus. Full-size oven, and you know, this whole top is a cooktop, so that's cool. And then warming rack.
So how many months of the year do you cook on here?
About 6.
About 6 months.
Is that right, honey?
Oh, there we go.
Yep.
Got your answer.
Big stainless steel sink that we bought from this is an online restaurant or something like that. Specialized deal. 3 sink job. And this plumbing, like I showed earlier, this is coming from that tank up there on the tower. Hot water comes from that hot water heater right there. It's also a solar powered hot water heater.
Got all your different spices up here.
Yeah.
Love the system there. It looks neat.
I built all these shelving units myself. That one, this one. We're going to be redoing this sometime sooner or later. I also built this customized shelving unit here. Super customized. Crazy angles. That's going to be getting redone. Then it goes right back to our pantry.
I love the look. Everything just has this real good homestead look to it.
So don't spend too much time in there. You'll get lost or something might eat you.
Hey, it keeps what you need in there though, right?
Wash unit, washing station.
Okay.
Just wash machine there. This is where we're going to bump out and build onto the add-on.
Okay.
Right through there. I'm going to make this window a door. We're going to go out.
You do most of your clothes, you dry it online, or
all of it.
Okay.
Yep, all of it we dry online. Hanging dryers.
Okay.
When you live in a tiny house like we do, we're 500 square feet, you make use of every storage spot possible. Any usable space, you use it. So this is Carrie's planning area. Right under the stairs here.
Here we go. Alrighty.
Into the bathroom. And I don't think you probably saw this, Mike, but look at the clearance here.
Oh man.
The clearance for the door and the...
Those are skills right there. You worked it out perfectly.
Yeah.
Alrighty, and here's the bathroom.
Yeah, bathroom, very customized. Cabinet as well. You can see it's tucked into this corner here. Tile job. My father-in-law did this custom work here. Very thankful to him for that.
Wow.
It says shower tub unit. We don't use the shower. We don't actually have enough pressure from our tank to shower, so we bathe. We all take baths.
Okay.
More stainless steel. We went as much stainless steel as we could around the tables and sinks, so that it lasts. So it can last.
There we go.
And then here's our loo.
Yeah, got that compost
It's
toilet
a
there.
composting toilet.
And you basically use wood shavings from the wood that you're splitting and working with yourself?
No, we use sawdust from a local mill.
Okay.
That I get for free.
Okay, that's fantastic.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And this is where you put together your masterpieces, your vlogs?
Yeah, right there.
There you go.
That's where the magic happens.
There you go.
All these cabinets, shelves. I built all these. This here, around here. Carrie wanted all these so that she could label them, and so I built these out of scrap. And you can see this is.
Oh wow, that's
stuff.
neat. I want to do that with our house.
This is all made out of scrap. This was our wood flooring, scrap. So I pieced it together, and this is our wall boards, scrap pieces from that.
And then right up here, you have a little gate.
Yeah, it's a pocket gate that my father-in-law built, so we can lock all the children in.
There we go. So over here, you have basically the master.
This is the master
portion of the loft.
Yep. Master portion of the loft.
It's a queen size bed.
King.
King. Wow.
My
That's
side, Carrie's side, over there.
That's great. How hard was that to bring up the stairs?
Not.
Really?
Yeah, because this is the foam mattress.
Oh, okay.
And then this bed is a, it's just like a
Gotcha. Yep.
metal frame with the wood slats.
Okay. So yeah, that wouldn't have been hard at all.
Yeah, it wasn't, thankfully.
And then over here you have the children's area.
The children's area. Joseph sleeps here. Joseph's this little one. Caleb's up in this big one. Nathan on that one. Josh here. And then I walled this off so that Esther, our girl, could be separate from the boys and have privacy.
That's great.
For propriety's sake.
Yes. That's important.
Yeah.
Well, Kip, thank you very much for showing us around your homestead. We really enjoy the things you got going on. And for those of you who don't know, the Smiths are basically in the same time period in their homestead that we are. They've been doing this about 4.5 years on their property, making it happen. And it's really neat to see some of these things just really coming together for you guys. But one of the things that I want you to answer for me, and it's a question that I think is very important when you're homesteading to think about on a regular basis, and that is why. Why do you do what you're doing here on your homestead with your family?
Can you ask me an easier question, please? Next question. You know, that's certainly a multifaceted answer to that question. Biggest motivator, honestly, is my children. I'm thinking about their future. The direction that this nation's going in, the direction this world is going in, makes me concerned about their future. And you know, sometimes if we asked, when we lived in Alaska, asked this child, you know, where's your food come from? They said, well, the grocery store. But how does it get there? It's on the shelf.
Oh.
Right? And that really stuck with me, thinking about, we've become so disconnected from our food. We've become so disconnected what it's like to work with our hands and produce something.
Yes.
And so what really started stirring in me is the idea of, I wanted to become a producer and not a consumer. We're always going to be consumers. We're always going to consume, but do we produce?
Exactly right.
And what do we produce? Is it something that really benefits the culture? Is it something that benefits humanity? Is it something that benefits your neighbors? Something that benefits your family?
Yeah.
Is that what we're producing? So that's what really started me on this journey of thinking about, okay, I want to produce, and I want to produce something that benefits my family first. Then as we overproduce, we can then bless our neighbors and then bless other people beyond that.
That's right. Those are some excellent reasons, and I'm sure keeping that in mind when you go through the down moments and the tough times helps keep you going.
Yeah. I mean, there's a greater purpose. And when you know that you know that you know that you know you're doing what you're supposed to do, that's what can give you the strength to keep on keeping on.
That's
when the going gets tough.
That's right.
So,
Kip, thank you very much for having us here on your homestead, and thank you for showing us around, and we really appreciate it.
thank you. Thanks for coming. And you guys, grow on.
There we go.
Thank you so much for watching. And remember, whatever you do, do it with your whole heart.
Thanks for watching.
Feel free to leave a comment below, even if it's just to say, hey. Also, make sure you don't miss any of our new videos. So, subscribe and sign up to receive notifications each time we release a new video. Also, you may want to check out these videos right here. And also check us out on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. See you next time.